Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bigger Picture Podcast. My name is Brandon, and I'll be your host as always. Today, we've got a good one for you. We've got Jared Smith joining us, and we're going to talk a little bit more NFL football. Today, we're looking at division winners. Definitely a lot different than last year. A lot of people moving to different teams, and this year's going to be different, obviously. No fans in the stands. NFL's got a lot of new rules and guidelines, so we're going to take a look at who we each think will win the divisions. Today, we're going to focus on the AFC and see what we've got over here. So we're going to start real simple with the AFC East. So, Jared, who do you have as your AFC East winner and why?
AFC East winner, I have the Patriots. And why? So you have a defense that literally could shut down any team they face. They had trouble with running quarterbacks. So throughout the entire season, they might not see a lot. But at the end of the day, they have a defense that is going to win games. So I don't care if it's Cam Newton. I don't care if it's Stidman. All they have to do is manage the game. The defense is going to put them in a position to win every single time. And all they have to do is just not screw up. They don't screw up, they win the games. They do. They lose a few. But at the end of the day, if they can just manage the game, they will have enough wins to win the division by at least 2 games.
By at least 2 games. I feel that's fair. So, I mean, Buffalo is getting a lot of credit for the moves they made in the offseason. Most notably, they brought in Stephon Diggs, which is really going to help their offense. I think he's honestly a number 1. He was a number 2 last year to Thielen, but he's a number 1 on that team, and he's really good. It's going to help Josh Allen. But my question with Josh Allen is more of, is he a project or is he the solution? Because he's really good in some games. And then I watch him sometimes and I'm like, this guy is god-awful. I don't know how he's a starter. They can definitely find somebody who can do better. So I have the Patriots as well. I think the defense is, again, for me, what's going to take it. They're proven. They're disciplined. Bill Belichick has always been more of a defensive coach, even though he runs an amazing offensive scheme. He makes sure his defensive coordinators are always on point and always on target. So I do have the Patriots as my winner as well. I don't think it's going to be as close as we think. You know, you said 2 games. I think New England now with Cam Newton, I do think they go, I'll say 11-5, and I think a lot of people will be surprised. 10-6, really, and if it's 9-7, I think 9-7 still gets them that division. Even on the low end, you know, because Buffalo, it's just their upside to me is just so capped. I could be very wrong. You know, we could watch this video back 6 months from now, and Buffalo could finish 13-3. Would it shock me? Yeah, it would. But do I look at which team has more upside to get to 12 wins? It's got to be New England, no matter what. I just think Buffalo, I don't know if it's their running backs. I don't know if they just need maybe like a good tight end option. Their linebackers. It's just something's missing from them that's stopping me from saying, without a doubt, they're going to go out and win the division. I do think they can make the wild card, and especially if we're expanding the playoffs, I don't have an issue with them making the playoffs. I think they're still a good team. But New England is just proven every year in, year out that they're the team to beat. They have the best coaching. They have the best defense. They have a better offense in Buffalo, even still, with Brady gone. So I think it's a lot closer on paper maybe when you look at the rosters. But when they start playing football games, New England's going to pull away. So I'm pretty interested we agreed on that because I really did. I thought you were going to say Buffalo for a minute.
See, Buffalo is just like every AFC East team outside of the Patriots. Yes, they have their moments. They might make the playoffs. But how deep do these teams get? How deep do these teams get? Even back when Mark Sanchez and that really good Jets defense was there, you know, they didn't make it to the Super Bowl. The Dolphins in 2008 go to the playoffs, don't win a game. They go back in 2016, don't win a game. Buffalo goes with what they think is their best chance to have a deep run, and Josh Allen takes like a 40-yard sack at the most critical time in the game.
Yeah.
They're just not built for it. They're not built for it. They do not have a history of success anytime soon, and it's going to continue.
No, I'm completely there with you. Again, they're just not there yet. You know, honestly, if they did not sign Cam Newton, I still would have gave the slight edge to New England. It would have been a lot closer, but I think that just pushes them over the edge. Getting a veteran quarterback He is an
The
upgrade from
only
Stidham.
veteran quarterback in the division.
That's very true. And it's not a knock on Stidham, but you went from having a bad, unproven quarterback to, even if Cam Newton is just average, he has proved in the past that he knows how to win. He's been to big games. So it's just an upgrade all around. And in that offense, if he can just kind of hone his skills, New England's not going to take a step back. I think they'll be good. That one's pretty good. Let's move on to the AFC West now. I think this one's pretty obvious for both of us. I assume you have the Chiefs?
I mean, I have to. I have
Yeah.
to. The $450 million man, the potential $503 million man. You can't bet against that. You can't say
can't.
that any team is ready to dethrone the Chiefs. Derek Carr isn't going to do it. Herbert's not going to do it.
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor, nope. If he, no. Yeah, there's no one that's going to do it.
There's no one. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Taking a look at it, I mean, I've got the Chiefs as well. It's just a matter of if the Chiefs are going to get the 1 seed or the 2 seed. They're just that dominant. And if it will even matter if there's no fans, will home field advantage even matter? That's a whole nother conversation, but it's obvious. Looking at the Chiefs, they're not going to get challenged by anyone. Denver's not ready yet. Oakland or Las Vegas, wherever they are now, it's not even close. The Chargers are a project team. They're still, I really think in their minds, like they're going to be competing in the next year or two, but they're not ready. This is not even close. They're going to hit 12, 13 wins pretty easily. It wouldn't shock me if they get off to a start like 9-0 and people start talking, could they go undefeated? If Mahomes stays healthy for all the games this year, then yes, they actually have a realistic shot at going undefeated. And that's not even blasphemous. Like that's pretty like I'm sure a lot of people would agree. If you did a poll, do you think the Chiefs could go undefeated this year? That's not even hype. Like that's just reality. They're just that good.
You think about the playoff games last year, Brandon. They literally started a game down 28 points. Down 28 points.
Yeah.
So you put them in a season where they start 0-0. I'm definitely thinking it's a possibility.
Yeah. I think it was 24. Yeah, but regardless, 24-0, 28-0, they came back, and they pretty much came back in the same half. It's pretty shocking. I mean, they're a good team. They're built for it. Just a matter of how far they'll go this year if they get upset or not.
The debate in the AFC West is if any of those teams even make that second wild card, which I really don't think they do. I don't think Locke does it. I don't think Herbert doesn't, and I don't think that Carr does it. So AFC West, easy, Chiefs.
I think I don't even know if another team in that division between the Raiders, the Chargers, and the Broncos, I don't know if any of them go 500 or better. Like I think they're all actually under 500 teams. Oakland probably has the best shot at going 8-8, but that's it. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like they're gonna destroy everyone. We'll just breeze past that because I don't think there's a person on the planet other than maybe a random fan out in Las Vegas who thinks the Raiders might beat them. But let's go on to the North, AFC North. Who you got and why?
I have the most predictable answer, and I'll tell you why. The Ravens. The way that they can run the ball is insane. And the addition that they made with the rookie is going to help that. So literally, you got runner number 1. You have Ingram. You have the rookie that they added. You have Lamar Jackson. And then their yards per carry. It's just dominant. It's just dominant. And then you get Lamar to throw 3,000. He takes a step up and throws for 4,000 yards, improves the accuracy. Oh, man, they are definitely going to be in a spot to win enough games to win the division, maybe even compete with the Chiefs to get that 1 or 2 seed.
Yeah. I hear you. But I got to go with the old boys from Cleveland on this one.
No.
I'm going with the Cleveland Browns. But listen, here's why. Last year, everyone picked them. And I don't care what you say, that has everything to do with their performance on the field. The pressure added up. They had an inexperienced coach, a coach who was actually probably the worst in the NFL. Their defense was not ready. They had spent a lot of money on some big-name guys, but they weren't ready. It was a bad defensive scheme, and their offensive line was god-awful, probably one of the worst. You put that all together, and you got a bad team. This year, there's no pressure on them. Everyone's focused on the Ravens because they have the MVP. They have a great defense. We saw them. They're electrifying. They've got good running backs. They've got, a solid O-line. But when pressure is on, when the lights come on and Baltimore has to perform, they're going to go out. They're going to lose a game to the Steelers. If you remember last year, the very first time that Cleveland and Baltimore played, Cleveland won. And the second game that they lost to the Ravens, they put up a fight. It wasn't a blowout. Baltimore was heavily favored to blow them out, and they didn't. They hung around. I know what you're thinking. Cleveland sucks. It all starts with Baker Mayfield. Baker's an interesting case. He gets a lot of hate. But if you give that time in the pocket for him, Baker's a top 10 quarterback. He's mobile. He's accurate. His arm strength is not elite, but, neither is Drew Brees. What is stopping him? He has the weapons. He has the running backs. They drafted a top 10 offensive lineman. Their defense is going to be back and better. This team can win the division. It's not going to be pretty. They're going to duke it out. They're going to split with the Ravens. But they'll go 11-5. The Ravens will probably go 10-6 or 11-5. It might come down to a tiebreaker. I've got the Browns.
We're saying the same exact Browns that struggle with the Steelers that had Mason Rudolph are just gonna come out of the woodwork and just start winning games. You're gonna bet on Baker Mayfield, this little ball of energy to just make things happen.
I'm betting on Baker, and I'm betting on the coaching staff to utilize Baker's abilities and the players around Baker. Odell had a terrible year. They got away from what worked with Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry is a move the chains type of guy, and he wasn't that last year. He was the type of guy who was very reliable, and Odell was the big play guy. There were no big plays. They didn't get the ball to him. You've got to understand, they brought in Austin Hooper this year, who's a really good threat, again, down the middle. They're going to get rid of David Njoku, but they got another guy in like the third or fourth round. They drafted another tight end who can block. So they've got best of both worlds there. Even if their injuries start to add up, they've got depth. They're deep at receiver. They've got two running backs in Chubb and Hunt. Like I said, the line is much, much improved. They got, I think it was Taylor Lewan, maybe not Taylor Lewan or Conklin. Somebody from the Titans moved over to the Browns. Not talked about at all. Very underrated move. He's going to play right tackle for them. And left tackle, they took the kid out of, I think he's out of Florida. I don't know, the offensive lineman. He's going to be a beast. And even if he's not a beast, he's going to be an upgrade over the guy they had last year because I don't even know who that was. The line would be better. They've got depth at all positions on offense. Defense is a question mark. Myles Garrett's going to come back, though. The line will be good. Olivier Vernon, I hope, will be better because he was pretty much god-awful last year. The corners, they've got Greedy Williams, who had an okay year as a rookie. And they've got Denzel Ward, who's honestly like a top 5, top 10 corner. He's amazing. And they took somebody else. Who did they take at safety? They took somebody else out of LSU. I forget who it was, but he was a baller. And even if he just is average, again, it's an upgrade. This is the Browns' prime opportunity. They've spent the money. They know this is their chance. I'm going with Cleveland, man. I'm going with Cleveland. That's my pick.
You put all those guys on any team in the league. You put them on the Dolphins. You put them on the Chargers. I have more faith on them. It's the Cleveland Browns. It's over. They might make the playoffs. That's my conclusion on that division.
All right. Hey, we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be a good year, though. But I think Cleveland, they were just a year too early last year. Everyone crowned them before the season even started. They said, oh, this is a super team. Now they're going to put their hard hats on. They've got some good coaching. They're going to get to work, and they're going to shock some people. May I say, they are my sleeper pick for the Super Bowl. All right. We're going to move on that note. Let's finish this off with the AFC South. Who you got in the South?
Also the most predictable, but also the most logical. I have the Tennessee Titans.
Titans, okay. That's cool. That's cool. I'm gonna go a different route, and I'm gonna tell you why in just a second. So, for the South, I went with the Colts. Last year, the Colts were my pick, and I actually had them. I really thought the Colts were gonna win the Super Bowl last year. I think the Colts really needed Andrew Luck, and I think they figured, this is our window of opportunity. They ended up having to make a switch to Jacoby Brissett at the last second. I think even with another month or two, if he would have just retired a little bit earlier and they would have known going into the season they had Jacoby Brissett, they would have been better, and they probably would have been better than Tennessee. I mean, that division pretty much came down to the last few weeks with Houston, with the Colts, and with the Titans. I will say that's a really good division, and you could have picked any three of these teams. I'm surprised neither of us picked Houston, to be honest, because they were honestly just as good as all of the others. But I went with the Colts. Really, the deal breaker for me, and the reason why I have them number one on my chart, it's going to be Phillip Rivers. I think Phillip Rivers is obviously a huge upgrade at quarterback, and they got DeForest Buckner from the 49ers. That's going to be really huge. Last year they played with Darius Leonard. Darius Leonard as a rookie was an all-pro at linebacker. He missed so much time last season, and he came back when it was virtually too late. They're going to get him back for a full healthy season. It's going to be a good team. I think the Colts can surprise a lot of people because they're under the radar. They're not as flashy as Houston, but I think Houston's going to take a step back after losing Hopkins. And I think Tennessee, teams are going to start to figure out Tennessee. They're going to say, hey, they're one-dimensional, and if their receivers don't step up, the offense is going to stop scoring as many points. They're going to just rely too much on Derrick Henry. I think the Colts have the best balance of all the teams in this division, and it just makes sense. This is their prime time. They're going for it all. They've got Rivers. He doesn't have a lot of time left. If you're going to do it, it's got to be this year. So, why not make the run now?
So you're talking about a man as an upgrade. You're talking about Phillip Rivers as an upgrade to the Colts. I'd rather have Jacoby Brissett, and they're paying him like he could be a starter. Phillip Rivers literally has the same amount of kids as the amount of picks that he had in a 3-game stretch. Nine interceptions in 3 games, and you're calling that an upgrade. You're calling that an upgrade.
He's a family man.
The way that he throws he's a family man to the other team because he likes sharing the ball. Sharing the ball with the other team.
Very easy. Phillip Rivers, very simply, is the second best quarterback in that division behind Deshaun Watson. He's much better than Ryan Tannehill will ever be, and I think there's no question that he's
not now.
Much better than Gardner Minshew. So Phillip Rivers had a terrible year. I get it. He wasn't very good in LA last year. But, what did they have? Melvin Gordon held out. They had Keenan Allen. He had an okay year. Hunter Henry went down before the season
We're
even
acting
started.
like Melvin Gordon was something that was relevant. Austin Eckler was holding it down.
Eckler was okay. He's okay. They used him a lot. He was okay. Regardless, Phillip Rivers is the second best quarterback in that division.
Okay. Let's get our first big picture tweet going. Mm-hmm. Hashtag noodle arm. Hashtag noodle arm. Hashtag
noodle arm.
Season over. Hashtag Colts don't win the division.
Wow. I'm glad we got this on video. So 6 months from now when what is this, July? So, yeah, when we're in December and January, when we look at this video, I want to put hashtag noodle arm in the comments, and we can go back and say, wow, look at that noodle arm winning the division. We're in the conference championship against the Browns. That's going to be interesting. Wait for that.
That makes
Colts versus Browns. Colts versus Browns for the conference championship. Who you got?
It doesn't happen. My mind can't even wrap around that. Maybe a season game if they're playing each other. That's about it. That's about as far as that goes.
If there's one thing we learned from 2020, it's that anything can happen. And Baker Mayfield versus Phillip Rivers to go to the Super Bowl might just happen. Stay on the lookout. That's all we got for today, guys. This was episode 5 of the Bigger Picture Podcast. Leave your picks in the comment section below. Give us a like, subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you can find us. I will leave the link in the description. My name is Brandon. You guys have a good one. Stay safe. Peace.